guys, welcome back to Two Terrible Sports Analysts. I'm your host, Colin, with Ashton, as always.
Hey guys.
All right, hopefully we got enough time for all these topics today, or hopefully we don't run out of time. Either one is perfect. But we're going to start out with old Kyrie Irving and his performances after the suspension.
All right, Kyrie. First game back, only 14 points, 5 of 12 from field goal percentage, 2 of 5 from three-point percentage. But he turned it around fast with his third game back, scoring 29, 11 of 16 from the field, and 5 of 8 from three-point. Then every game after, scoring at least in the 20s, with the most recent performance scoring 27 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point. So three-point not the best there, but he did score 27. But I will say about Kyrie, he is back on track after his 8-game suspension. And he'll be fine for the Nets. I think they're going to start winning more games, obviously, with him in the lineup. But being Kyrie, how he is, it doesn't take him long to get back in rhythm on the basketball court. That's the type of player he is. He's good at the game. So he sees a few go in, he's good. So don't take him long.
Initially, whenever we had this topic planned out, it was literally the one game back, so it would have been a whole different conversation that we'd be having right now.
Right,
But,
yeah.
Like you said, he's got a few underneath his belt since we took off last week due to Thanksgiving and all that other stuff. I was moving, so on and so forth. But yeah, he's definitely turned it around. He's back to where he was before the suspension. So, I mean, obviously it didn't hinder him. It hindered him for 1 or 2 games, and then he's back to being his old Kyrie self on the floor.
Yep, just balling out.
Uncle Drew it up.
That's right. They need to make an Uncle Drew, too. And we can watch it because we watched the first one together.
That's right. And your bachelor party.
Yeah, a long time ago. Well, 4 years ago.
Go watch Uncle Drew.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
But I'm sure a movie companies will wait to see if any more controversy shows up before they decide to make a second one.
Yeah, it'll be a while just to see how everything turns out with if he learned his lesson or not. But right now, the Nets, they're number 6 in the East, 13 and 11. They are 5.5 games behind the number 1 spot, which is the Celtics right now, Colin's team. I think they have the best record in the NBA, the Celtics.
They do.
Yeah, they sure do.
Losses on the season, I think.
What is it?
I think they only got 4 losses in the season. I may be wrong.
5 now. 18 and 5.
Oh, they lost 1 more. My bad.
Yep. And then the Bucks are second in the whole NBA with 16 and 6, and also second in the East. But
haven't seen that in a while. It's usually the West that has the top 2 teams.
I know, but third is the Suns, which is first in the West. The East has been getting better the past few years. Well, I mean, since LeBron left, because everybody left the East to get away from LeBron.
Then LeBron went to the West, and then
Yeah.
had to deal with him.
Yeah. So the East is getting better. So
right now with the Lakers, they don't really got to deal with him because even though he's still putting up good points, his team still sucks.
Right, because of Russ. Not getting into that right now.
Different topic for a different day.
Oh, they already know my feelings on Russ. He can burn.
I mean, he had a 15-point game the other night. He's doing.
Oh wow! All-star making 15 points. He needs
the former All-Star. He's not
an All-Star anymore.
Been a normal All-Star in a few years.
Yeah, they need to throw him a party for scoring 15 points. What a comeback.
That's right. For a 6-man, that's honestly not bad.
He was starting at the beginning of the season.
I never said he was good. I'm just trying to make you mad best I can.
He don't even deserve to be 6-man. He don't even need to be in the rotation.
Ashton's better than Westbrook.
Yeah, I am. At least I can make a jump shot.
That's true. All right, before I make Ashton even more red, 2 separate games, which just happened a couple of weeks ago. 2 separate games, both got their their fields rated. Yeah, there we go. The fans stormed the field. That's what I was trying to say. With South Carolina and Vanderbilt getting fined for it, how do you feel about that?
Well, South Carolina, I seen they had to pay $100,000 for its fans storming the field after a 63-38 win over the then 5th-ranked Tennessee team. And then Vanderbilt was fined $25,000 for this being the school's 3rd violation. I can go either way with this. I can understand the safety of the fans and the players and everybody if the fans stay in the stands where they belong. But I also see the excitement if your school is doing good. You know, you want to run out there. But I'd save it for an actual game worth storming the field, like a championship or something. Not just a regular game winning over a ranked team. But I know professional sports do it all the time. Like the NBA, players, coaches, everybody storms the courts or the field. So it's different for a college team because the school wants to have more organization, I guess, with their sports and stuff. So I understand their fines and everything, but I understand the excitement as well. So like I said, I can go either way with it.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. But whenever the conference is the one fining the schools for it, that's a whole different ballgame. It'd be different if like the universities were fining people personally doing it, but it's the schools
Right.
getting fined.
From the conference that they're in.
Conference.
From the same conference.
They just so happen to be in the SEC.
Yeah.
Which the SEC is usually top of their game when it comes to football teams. Usually your top 3 or 4 teams to finish are usually at least 1 or 2 of them is always in the SEC.
Yeah.
But with saying that, that probably means that they are the strictest conference when it comes down to how they want stuff done and everything else. But like you, I can understand both sides. I can understand that it's a safety risk to the people that are storming the fields and to the players that's on the fields because they get trampled the whole 9 yards. But at the same time,
right,
you can only have so many security guards and cops to stop so many people.
Right, they're going to get overran because there's more fans than there are security in those games.
Exactly. So it's just like one of those things. It's not really the school's fault that they decided their student sections or whatever fans decided to rush the field. Like the schools can't control that to an extent because, like you said, there's only so many security guards and police officers on site. It's not like you can stop 30,000 people with even 30 people.
Right. I mean, if you want to stop it, call in the National Guard. Have them do security at football games from now on. Other than that, it's not going to get stopped. No matter how the fans don't care how much the school loses money, they're still going to do it.
Exactly, and that's stupid that the team gets fined basically for it.
Right. I mean, they can't find the fans.
I mean, shoot,
So they got to find somebody.
We can't even get people to agree on a day-to-day basis, let alone telling people that they won an upset game to not storm a field.
Right.
Like you said, you just pretty much rely on the people to actually be civilized or not, which is never going to work out in anybody's favor.
Right. Are sports fans civilized? No.
I mean, to an extent, yes, but whenever you get super excited and let your emotions run over, you can kiss all that goodbye.
Right, and then nothing. You mix alcohol with it.
That too.
I mean, that's all I'm going to say.
And all your controls go out the window at that point anyways, for the most part, and for most people.
Right. And then your emotions just really overflow with your excitement and everything if your team wins.
Exactly. And it's just one of those things, like I said, the school really shouldn't get fined for it, but the SEC is trying to keep their powerhouse name as a conference.
Right. And that being Vanderbilt's third violation, so it's their third fine that the conference has gave them, and it's really not their fault. They can't do anything to control it. So they're just going to keep getting fines more and more until, and I don't even know, they get suspended or something. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, because it's just never going to go away, because like I said, you'd have to control the student sections and everything else. Not just students, but, everyday people too.
Right, just all the fans in general, not just the students. I mean, you could control the students more than you can the everyday fans.
Which I still didn't want to do much, because usually those games are packed filled with more students than what there are normal fans.
Yeah.
Because students get discounts the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And usually they're on the campus where they're playing at.
Yeah, they're just already there, so they go over and watch the game.
But moving on to the next one. Dwight Howard no longer in the NBA, which threw me for a shock, because I never thought the guy would go across seas to play.
Yeah, which he didn't really have a choice. Nobody would pick him up. Kind of like that Carmelo Anthony situation, which nobody picked him up this year either. But it's kind of sad to see, because Dwight Howard, he's only 36, and he can still play, not at a high level like he used to, but he can still defend and play good. I mean, he can play good defense and still get you rebounds. And you feed him down low, he'll still dunk it occasionally, or he'll at least lay it up. He's not what he used to be, but he's still good. But nobody would pick him up.
Didn't he start the season with the Lakers?
No, he ended the last season with the Lakers, but they didn't renew his contract, and nobody else offered him a contract. So
I thought he played a couple games this year.
No, he should. I mean, they should have renewed his contract, because Lakers need a good center.
Still better than Russ.
Yeah, Dwight Howard's better than Russ. At least Dwight Howard can play defense.
Which, from the videos I've seen, he's been an absolute beast over in Taiwan. It's like he's a rookie in the NBA again.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's in Taiwan is where he went to.
I knew he's in Taiwan, but I didn't see him.
Yeah, he's like dominating over there. Like, I think he's averaging like 30-some points a game in Taiwan.
Holy crap.
Yeah, as a center. But, yet again, the height difference and everything else is a bigger difference.
Yeah, that's what I was... Yeah. Yeah. And then, like we've said before, him being in the NBA for so long, it might be a professional league over there, but their professional leagues don't compare to the NBA.
I think he was one of the last ones come straight out of high school, wasn't he?
Yeah, because I believe he got drafted 2022? Not 22, I'm sorry. 2002, I believe, straight out of high school.
The year before LeBron.
I believe so.
So, yeah, I mean, he's been in the league just pretty much as long as what LeBron has. And
Right, and him coming out of high school gives him the advantage to play longer, like LeBron has, because they're younger at that point of how long they've been in the league.
yeah, but it was just one of those things. But like I said, over there, he's averaging like he was in his prime in the NBA.
Right. Oh no, I'm sorry. He was the year after. I couldn't remember if he was the year before LeBron or the year after.
I thought he was because I thought he was one of the last ones. But I knew it was 02 or 04. I knew it wasn't the same year as LeBron.
I knew it was 02 or 04. It was 2004 first round, first by the Magic, first overall.
It was first pick.
Yeah, he was first by the Magic in 2004. I couldn't remember if it was before LeBron or after LeBron, but I knew it was one year or the other.
Yep, I knew it was one before and one after.
Yeah, but it was 2004. But either way, he still deserves to be in the NBA. But they do that to a lot of players. Carmelo Anthony, we have talked about. Jamal Crawford was one of them. JJ Redick was one.
Especially older
players.
players.
It's players that can still play. They just don't give them a chance. And yet you still have players that are absolute garbage that are still in the league that those players could replace. Just because they're older, they don't want.
Oh yeah.
Like let's take Russ for instance. Russ should be not playing in the league, but here he is, coming off the bench for the Lakers. Whenever Carmelo Anthony,
not quite over 35 yet.
Yeah, and whenever Carmelo Anthony could be that sixth man, bringing better performance than Russ.
Or when Howard could be doing it too.
Right, exactly. But because we had the Lakers had both of those players last year, Dwight Howard and Carmelo Anthony at the end of the season, and they didn't pick up either one. But
that's just like companies that bring in their new workers that when a person's about ready to retire, it's like, yeah, we're just slowly forcing you out the door a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and I hate to say it. I mean, I know the NBA is a business, and it's up to the teams to offer the contract. But it still sucks to see for the players that you can still see potential in and that you grew up watching, and just because they're older, they don't get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you remember back in the day, Dwight Howard was a beast for the Magic.
Well, he had a couple Eastern Conference runs.
Yeah, I mean he was a dominant guy in the East. I mean, he gave the Celtics a run for their money a couple times. LeBron a run for his money.
Mm-hmm. Just for him to no longer be in the league just because of his age, which I understand. He is the old-time center that can't shoot.
Yeah, he's not going to shoot three. He's not a stretch five by any means.
He's not even going to back you down and post him to a fadeaway. He's face up.
Yeah, he's going to dunk on you or he's going to lay it up.
Which, as we've discussed before, the league's turning away from that. So, I mean, to an extent, it makes sense for him not to be there because the guy's hands are so big. He's not, and that's another thing. He's never hack a Shaq rule too because he couldn't shoot free throws either.
Yeah. Right.
I
think he shoot a little better than Shaq.
I think he had a career of like 62%, something weird like that.
Yeah. Awful. But I understand him being a traditional center, but look at Carmelo Anthony. He can shoot threes. He can shoot mid-range, but yet just because he's
a small forward.
Just because he's older, he's not in the league.
Yeah, I mean, not near as versatile as what he used to be.
And he's never been a good defender. But
as mentioned before, a small forward has to be the most versatile person on the floor, though.
Yeah.
Because they are the person that should be able to play all positions in a pinch.
Yeah, right. And, I mean, you look at LeBron.
I mean, you wouldn't expect your 6'3" point guard to go box out a 7'3" center and get rebounds all day long. You wouldn't expect that. But a small forward that's maybe 5 to 4 inches shorter than that center should be able to get a few more rebounds than what that point guard would be. And then he's a few inches taller than the average point guard. So, like I said, it just goes both ways. So, like I said, he's never been much on defense. He's mainly been I wouldn't even say really a good shooter. He's been pretty much a good spot-up shooter. But coverage-wise, he's
good catch
never
and
really been
shoot.
much of a clutch in your face type of shooter.
Right. He's more of a catch and shoot, but for the Nuggets and the Knicks, he done really good.
He's not that versatile anymore, and he's in the most versatile position. So unless he was to try to move down to shooting guard, which we've already discussed, but he can't shoot contested, or since he's older, go to power forward and be a big, but again, that would take more wear and tear on the body. So it honestly makes sense why Carmelo Anthony's snubbed the way he is now.
Yeah, but then you have players like Russ that are still in the league.
Like I said, if he was a small forward, he wouldn't be in the league. But he's a point guard, so it makes.
But he can barely dribble.
That's true too.
He gets more turnovers from it than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
That's true, but I'm not the Lakers making the decision.
Yeah, I think there's something going on that front office. Somebody needs fired.
That's for sure. That's not the coach.
No, it's not the coach. It's a little bit higher than the coach.
Although the coach would be the one to get the blame first.
Yep, but it's more on the GM. He makes all the trading decisions and refuses to trade Russ. But Dwight Howard should be in the NBA. That's it.
All right. Zach Wilson mouthing the Jets organization after being benched. The kid had promised.
Yeah, I seen that.
I said the kid had promised at the beginning of the season.
He's garbage. He's been playing trash. Seen that he said he didn't. It was after that Patriots game. He went 9 for 22 passes for only 77 yards, including 4 of 11 for 17 yards in the second half. I don't know about you. That's pretty trash.
Didn't he have a couple interceptions too?
Yeah. And that's as a second
completions to the other team than what you have to your own team. That's already saying something about himself.
Right, and he's a second overall pick. He should be playing better than that, and he needs to be a better leader because he said when they asked him if he thought that he let the defense down because the defense was playing good. That's why the game was as close as it was. He said no, he didn't let the defense down, which wasn't accepted very well by the fan base and got a lot of slack for that comment. So then he eventually did apologize for it, but him saying stuff like that, he needs to be a better leader as the quarterback. Yeah, he's the benched quarterback right now because he's playing like trash, but he is still the quarterback for that game. So he needs to take responsibility. He's like, yeah, I was trash. I need to do better. Instead of just
playing football, the quarterback always has the most responsibility. It doesn't matter what league you're in.
Right.
Which I know quarterbacks are held to a higher standard, but that's literally one of the most important positions on the field.
Right. And him to just ignore the fact that he's garbage is not good. He needs to accept it. Like, yeah, I was trash. I need to do better. I need to work on it. And that would been accepted a lot better than just like, no, I didn't let the defense down. I was playing good. I mean, he didn't say he was playing good, but basically that's what he was saying. He didn't let the defense down. There's nothing wrong with his gameplay when you go 9 for 22. It's only 77 yards.
That's what Westbrook was for.
Yeah. Zach Wilson.
All game.
Yeah. Russ going 0 for 11. Yeah, that's a solid game, man. Good playing out there. Russ is an idiot. But Zach
So he needs a
Wilson,
quarterback, apparently.
yeah, he needs to do better with being a leader and accepting the fact that he's playing like trash. A good leader.
Which I've noticed every single year, these quarterbacks coming up that are newer and newer, it seems like they want less responsibility by the time they get in the NFL.
Well, they're in the wrong position for that.
That's true. You want less responsibility, go be a right tackle.
Go be a safety
left
or something.
Tackle.
Yeah. Like, you're in the most looked at position in the sport, and you don't want the responsibility of being a leader. More times than not, the quarterback is the leader of the team.
Yep.
So you need to go be a different position if you don't want the responsibility of being a leader of a team. Because
I feel I'll go one step further from what I was saying. It's usually the first round quarterbacks are usually the ones that are like that. Usually your second or third rounds are usually pretty level headed and usually some of the best quarterbacks you wind up seeing in the league.
right. Usually the first round, I don't know if it's the hype of or the pressure of just them expected to be good because they're in the first round or what.
Yeah, because more than likely they're going to be the starters for that team.
Right. So I don't know if they just buckle under pressure. Because obviously to get drafted high overall, you have to be good in college. So these guys are good in college. Just when they get to the professional league, they just can't play anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we had an instance of that with WVU. Pat White was the same way.
Yep, he was a great player. Him and Steve Slayton together.
College, but came to the NFL, he wasn't worth what he was printed on.
Nope. It was sad to say. I love watching him. Him and Steve Slayton were awesome.
It didn't help he got knocked out literally by the Steelers on like his second game, but still.
Yeah. I remember that.
But it's common. Like I said, you get a first round quarterback. I understand that they're usually going to a crappy team, and then they're expected to be the starter and leader of that team. So I can understand the stress of it, but the team is still paying you millions to play for them.
Right, and to bring them wins and to be the leader of their team.
Like, I could go out there and do what Zach Wilson's doing for that amount of money.
Oh, yeah, I could go out there and
quarterback.
Right, and I mean, we played enough football to be able to throw the ball a little bit.
I said, I'll be honest, I got about a 20-yard. I'm accurate as can be, but 20 yards is pretty much my maximum throwing distance before it gets way out of whack, which I know that don't exist in the NFL.
Right.
So, I mean, to have that skill is a whole different demeanor, but to have the right hand on your shoulder to go with it makes the world of a difference.
Well, and a lot of these young guys, it seems like all these young rookies are more and more irresponsible than they used to be.
Oh, yeah, which I think that's, needless to say, I'm going to say this, but I think that's a generation thing too, because these guys are starting to be, I mean, they're a little bit younger than us now. I mean, I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Most
yeah,
of
we're old,
in the
I know.
NFL right now are just a little bit younger than you and me.
Yeah.
Which is usually when the generation gap starts being noticed.
Right.
Which doesn't help it. We was literally like one of the first ones in our generation.
Yeah, yeah. The most level-headed in our generation, apparently.
And like I said, come to it, we still got 13-year-olds in our generation right now.
I ain't part of it.
We are. We're just on the head end of it.
I'm not. You are.
Same year, buddy.
I don't associate myself with them. Yeah, it's just he needs to step it up, be a leader, be a man. Just basically put it that way, be a man, grow up. You're in the professional league now, you're not in college.
That's right, there's nobody feeling sorry for you.
Nope, they'll just get rid of you. They don't care.
Their chomps to get your job.
Yep, And in college, it's more forgiving to act like that. You'll still be the starting quarterback, but in the NFL, they don't put up with this. They will bench you and trade you. They don't care.
That's right. Or cut you completely.
They just want to win. They don't want you. They don't care how you feel. They just want to win games. Whether you're there or not, they're going to try the best to win games.
I mean, we understand it's the Jets, but still.
Right. They're not very successful, but they still want to try to win games.
That's right. I don't think any teams go out there to try to lose. It's not fun.
No, unless they're trying to tank for the draft.
I don't care what these supportive parents say. Losing is not fun.
No, it's not. In the NFL, you don't get a participation trophy.
That's right. Do we hit this last topic, or are we calling it good?
We can hit it.
All right.
It's just a recap.
One more topic. South Carolina versus Clemson recap. I know earlier on in this podcast we was talking about South Carolina getting fined for the field with Tennessee incident, but right here is the rivalry game of the state, which there was no storm fielding.
Yep.
Or I cannot get this term right.
Field storming.
There was no storming of the field. There we go. At this game, and it was an SEC game for both teams. Well, I guess it was for the last team too, but that don't make a difference. How do you feel about the recap? It was a good game.
It was a good game. It was a 31-30 game with South Carolina coming out on top, which honestly surprised me.
It's never upset.
Yeah, it was an upset because now, I don't know about then, but I know now South Carolina is ranked 20 and Clemson is ranked 10. But and South Carolina is now 8-4 and Clemson is now 10-2. So that was only Clemson's second loss of the season. Because we've talked about Clemson at the beginning of our podcast, not this podcast, but with our AP polls and stuff, that they're always a top tier team. So in the past few years. So then, I mean, this stands true even now with their second loss this season. So, good game. I didn't watch it, but I did watch highlights, and it was. I mean, you can just tell by the score it was a good game.
I watched it, but obviously it was definitely televised down here.
Yeah, very local down there.
Very, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's not very local up here.
Yeah, it was. I watched the first two quarters just because it just so happened to be on while we went out to go eat, and it was at the place where we was eating at, and I didn't. Like I said, I got up, left whenever my meal was done, and then I'd seen the final score afterwards. But the first half was good. I thought it was good, and obviously it wound up being a nail biter.
Right. 1 point win. I'm not gonna say it's rare in football, but you don't see it a lot. You mostly see like 3-point difference, like a field goal.
Yeah, but a 1 point to literally even a safety would win the game is a whole different game.
Right.
Which I guess it'd still be a 1 point victory for the other team, but it's still one of those things. Like you said in the NBA, it's not really that big of a difference scoring wise. 1 point isn't that big of a difference when it comes down to a game in the NBA. That happens pretty often, but in football, like you said, it's always 3 or 4 points. It's the difference.
Yeah. It's a good game if you win by 1 in a football game.
Oh, yeah, and a close one. Anything within 3, in all honesty.
Yeah. I mean, even a field goal, like you said, 3 is a good game.
Close game.
Yeah.
Because even if you win by 3, that means that you played out the very end and you just happen to have a kicker to make it from how many yards away.
Right.
But this one wasn't a case. South Carolina actually stopped them on Clemson's final drive.
Yeah.
Because Clemson, I think, was almost in the red zone. So if they was almost within the 20-yard mark, and they stopped them. So they was definitely in field goal range.
Yeah.
they tried to run one more play to score and turned it over.
Yep, that's what happens.
So, I mean, it could have been a ball game either way. If Clemson would have played it smart and kicked the field goal in that final play, it would have been the other way around. This really wouldn't even be a topic for debate, but it was another upset.
Just poor decision making in the late game, really.
Yeah, which, I mean, the other team would have still had enough time to march down the field because there were still a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
But it was unlikely due to the rank difference.
Right.
But obviously they marched in a couple times, or else the score wouldn't have been that close.
Right.
But usually the ranked teams have more clutch abilities in them than what unranked teams do.
Yeah, that's why they're ranked so high.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's all the time. Well, and the topics we have for today.
Yep.
Got anything for them?
Well, just, our YouTube channel, Two Terrible Podcasts. So just subscribe there. And like I said on our gaming podcast, if you listen to it, if you don't, go listen to it. We do have merch now. It is under our Three Terrible Gamers name. So it is Three Terrible Gamers, no spaces. But we do have Two Terrible Sports Analysts merch in that shop as well. So just wear us around to support our podcast and share it around. If they ask you what it is, tell them, hey, it's this awesome sports podcast I listen to. You should check it out. So and we have not just clothes, we have backpacks, drawstring bags, phone cases, magnets, stickers, all kinds of stuff.
All the fancy stuff for your day-to-day use. And
right.
However you want to design yourself, or fashion yourself, I should say.
Right. And we got even like throw blankets and throw pillows, comforters, all kinds of stuff. Shower curtains, if you want to look at us in the shower, whatever.
That's right. I do. I like seeing myself in the shower.
I do too. I look good. But that's all I got.
All right. Well, if that's the case, later, guys.
See you guys next week.